really great pizza dough only needs 4 ingredients: flour, water, salt, and yeast. That's it. But there's a magical 5th thing that you need to understand. Let's get started now. All right, flour. We're gonna go in with 4 cups. So in general, bakers like to use weight because you never know how compact or not this may be. But by leveling it off, it creates a little bit of compression into the flour and also gets a pretty accurate measurement. And what we have here is instant yeast. And this is the greatest invention of modern food science, I believe. It does not need to be proofed in water. It just works. Because that's it. That's all you have to do. It really makes life easier. Let's do a pinch, 2 pinches of salt. So we've got our instant yeast, salt, 4 cups of all-purpose flour. The Italians would say use 00 flour, which is a very finely milled flour. I say go with the all-purpose. Very simply just gonna combine the dry stuff so that it's all mixed throughout. All right, dry ingredients mixed. Here we have a cup of warm water. And depending on how humid your climate is, we're in New York, it's July, it's humid. You may need more or less. Let's go with 1.5 cups of water to start. And now we're just gonna start mixing this. So on your end, you're gonna start with 1.5 cups of water to the 4 cups of flour, and you're gonna mix it. So if after 2 minutes, it's not really coming together, add water. Tiny bit. Gluten. It's not as bad as all the health nuts would have you think. What does it actually do? Hold in the carbon dioxide farts from the yeast. What does that mean? That means you get a light, fluffy dough that is like 90% air. Have you ever had gluten-free bread? Is it dense? Yes. Why? Because there's no gluten. Can't hold in the carbon dioxide. Guys, you'll know when it comes together. I mean, it has come together. It is there. And it is a very strong ball. Sorry, we need to cut this up. And I think you're gonna get 2 nice balls out of this. You're gonna get 4 nice balls out of this, because these are gonna rise. They're gonna get bigger. Right now, I'm just kind of folding the dough underneath to make a little ball. If you just keep folding it underneath like this. We don't need to knead it. Why don't we need to knead it? Because it already happened over here. You can just keep folding it into itself. The dough is strong. We come with some flour so it doesn't stick. If you go from up high, it will spread out better and be less clumpy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't put them so close together. They're gonna melt out and expand up, and these guys need room to grow. Cover it with a towel. Can you cook this in 1.5 hours? Yes, it'll be fine. But every 6 hours, the yeast go through a new generation. Wonderful. So every 6 hours, you get deeper flavor. So the secret ingredient is time. Let many generations of yeast grow, die, and reproduce. Creates a whole different ballgame. All right, guys, here we've got dough that I made before, so you can see a little side-by-side comparison of something that's only been rising for 6 hours. Big difference. First of all, this one is still all uptight, knotted up, whereas this has melted out, increased in size. It's much softer to the touch. Well, you wouldn't be able to roll this out. It would just keep returning to the center. Look, I mean, you can see it coming back in right now. You see that? But if I flatten one of these guys, it'll hold that shape much better, especially if I stretch it the right way. So watch the next video to see how to make a pizza.